So hello, everybody. This is Ingrid. I am so excited today. I have one of my favorite and most admired mentors here today to give it a little interview. And I'm just so grateful you're here, Selena. I've told my folks about you and they know a little bit about you. And I know that, they see the amazing work you do. And you've helped so many people just get out there in the world as a publicist and just be seen and actually get publicity and share their good work. And without people like you, they just wouldn't be there. So thank you for that. I certainly learned a ton from you last year. I'm actually already signed up for next year. I don't know if you know that, but I am. So yeah, I have to do this again. It was great. Impacting Millions program, people, I tell you, you have to be there. You learn life-changing things. But I did want to share with people how we actually met, because we weren't in contact for many years, but we actually go back quite a few years. We had a program that we both did.
Yes, 10 years ago, about 10 years ago, yeah.
Was it that long? Yeah, exactly. And it was, I remember for myself, this program was fantastic. It was amazing. It was life-changing, but it was also incredibly challenging. And, I'm this bubbly person. I'm an extrovert. I talk a lot. I think everybody needs to hear what I have to say, even if that's not true. And I remember that I was out of my element 90% of the time. It was hard. And I felt just, so self-conscious and I was crazy. I lived on every buff flower I had. And that time it was amazing. And you were always sitting there and I just looked over to you and you were so just calm and collected and you had your pen, you took your notes, and the next morning you came back and told us all the great things that happened overnight because you had implemented the steps. And I was recovering from a glass of wine. And I just thought, oh my goodness, Selena is she's in her own league over there. This is, I guess this is who you're going to be when you grow up. And then I remember there was a day, I don't know how many days it was in, but we were all waiting outside, waiting for the restaurant. And I looked over to you and you had tears in your eyes. And, I'm a mom, so my motherly instincts made me walk over and said, Selena, what's going on? And I remember you saying, I'm just so intimidated right now. And my jaw dropped. I couldn't believe that this was intimidating to you because you didn't show that at all. And I realized that you weren't just calm and collected. You were also incredibly shy and introvert. And I realized how hard you were pushing yourself. And I could relate to that because in my own way, I was certainly doing that too. And how hard it must be when you're shy to not give up and to show up and to keep going and just follow your dream. And so
yeah. Well, thanks for sharing that. And also I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I remember that. And I think this really applies to every single person listening, everyone here who has a powerful story, message, or product and service, we're working hard to put it out into the world. And even when we, seem like everything's great, it's like, we are challenging ourselves. It's not easy to pitch ourselves for an opportunity, to be on video, to be seen. And all of us, including the people who are experts, struggle at times. So if you're ever like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do it. I'm an introverted, I'm shy, I'm just getting started. This is out of my element. It's out of all of our elements at the beginning. But when it comes to publicity specifically, I don't think that we can compare day one of our publicity journey to someone else's like 1 year, 2 years, 5 years in. So I find that there's a tendency for us to look to people that we admire and be like, oh, wow, like Ingrid's so great on video, or this person's so great, and I'm not like them. So therefore I'm not meant for these opportunities. And so there's a gap, but the only way to bridge that gap is actually by doing and taking imperfect action. And, with all of us who, identify as entrepreneurs, we've had to do really scary things like I remember like pricing and packaging my services was very scary. Like, is anyone going to buy this at this price point? To sales conversations and all these things, or leading small group workshops. But I always have found that the things that were the most scariest tended to be those needle moving activities that would take our business and our impact to the next level. So yeah, Ingrid, it's like, you've been scared. I've been scared. And maybe if you're listening, you feel scared as well. And just know that we have all been in that same place, but that's not a reason to stop.
Exactly. It's actually, I realized eventually that when I'm scared, it just means that I'm realizing I'm this close to doing something I know I can do, but I've never done before. This is
Yeah.
when you gotta jump, and that's the last thing you want to do. But if you don't jump, you quit
Yeah.
because you're ready and you just didn't finish. And if people could just understand that for themselves and just say the hell with it. I mean, it's okay to fail. It's not okay to not try. Um, that's a really big deal. I think the other part of it is too that you got to surround yourself with people that get you. It's incredibly hard to do anything alone. And so when you have role models, mentors, or just a whole bunch of people that cheer you on and say, I get you, good job, and you can come with your little and your big surprises and your big successes, and they're just proud of you. That's so incredibly important. And that's what I found in the program as well, is you can come up with the tiniest little things and people just send you hearts and love and respond. And that just kind of starts helping you to float a little bit and not take every fear so seriously. But how did you get started with publicity, and what do you think, how do you define it?
Yeah, absolutely. So I got started in this world because when I was in my mid 20s, I had a quarter life crisis. I was working in a nonprofit at the time. I was making $42,000 a year. And while I liked what I did, I also felt like I was meant for something more. And I was also struggling with low self-esteem. And it reached a point where I became clinically depressed. And things got so bad that my mom flew from Vancouver, Canada to New York City to be by my side, to make sure that I was eating, to make sure that I was getting out of bed in the morning and, getting on the subway. And I remember, saying to a friend, I can't keep feeling this way. Do you know someone who can help me? And that's when I got introduced to a female life coach. Through this life coach, I got introduced to this whole world of, experts, authors, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, inspirational personalities, healing practitioners. And I realized, when people are struggling and suffering, whether it is in relationships, with career, life purpose, health, whatever it is, when people struggle and suffer, they're not only looking for more information, they are also looking for inspiration. And to me, there's nothing more inspiring than a role model who I define as someone who has gone through a challenge and come out the other side of it. We all need those people that embody that message of hope and possibility. But I would ask my friend, like, have you heard about this person, that person, and what they're doing? Because like their ideas, their work, it's really changing my life. And almost all the time, like, people did not know who I was talking about or understand what they were doing. And it made me realize that sometimes people who have that most important message, story, product, or service can be that best kept secret. That's how I really fell in love with publicity, because in terms of like some of the benefits of publicity, I would say publicity is one of the fastest ways to get credibility for the work that you do. If it's like, oh my gosh, she's been featured here, she's been interviewed in this place, it's like, okay, this person is like a go-to expert and within the industry, someone who is a leader. But it also allows you to reach more people, because as entrepreneurs who are looking to impact more lives, like, imagine what is possible if double the number of people knew who you were, or triple the number of people that currently know who you are. I'm pretty sure that your business would grow if more people knew who you were and got excited about your work. And so publicity can pretty easily put you in front of bigger audiences. And it also really builds that know, like, and trust factor. When someone hears you in an interview, or they read an article, or they just have that experience of you, they're more primed to trust you, to want to buy from you. So there's just so many benefits of publicity that, we're looking to grow our businesses as entrepreneurs and focus on marketing. I think publicity is an important part of the mix of really establishing your credibility and getting your work out there. And also,
Absolutely.
just to jump in, I
Yeah.
really didn't define what publicity is. So publicity is all about like your story, message, product, or service, like getting that out on other people's platforms. So not just your own social media, your own newsletter. It's, it could be traditional media, it could be new media, it could be like you're a leader in your industry, having you on their podcast, or sharing about your work in their newsletter, or doing an IGTV interview, or it could be traditional where your work's featured in a magazine or newspaper or TV, but these are other platforms, media and influencer and expert platforms, where your message is being spread to a lot of people. That's what publicity is.
Yeah. And I remember you saying way back, I can get the attention of anybody. And I just, how do you do that? And then yeah. And the next thing I know, you get these newsletters. Oh, and I've been interviewed by this person. I was published, and I was thinking she can't get the attention of everybody. And I definitely want to second that. I wrote an article the other day, and I first actually just posted it on Facebook because it was dear to my heart. It was important to me. I shared it with people. I got like 6.5 likes and a comments. It's something like, yeah, Ingrid has an opinion. Who cares? And then I was encouraged also because of the things I learned from you guys to actually bring this out in front and into a print media that is very relevant here where I live, because I wanted it to have an impact. It was, I'm an activist, so I need to change things that I don't like. And they printed it the next day in print and online, front page. You gotta
oh my God.
it was
Yeah.
great.
Amazing.
And then I went back to Facebook just to take my community. And I said, look, I was published in, this newspaper. And it exploded. And everyone was, oh my God. And they started forwarding it, and then they read it, and they sent it to other outlets, and they did all these things. And that was because of the credibility of media. It was not the content. The content was great before, but people take you seriously when you're published, and they realize that you have something to say that is important to others too. And I think you also, the more you are known in your field, the easier it is for others to refer you, because you kind of have that established celebrity thing around you, which is important, because if you do good work and nobody knows about you, then you're just able to do good work, but you're not doing good work because you're not working with anybody. So that's super important. And it's not, what I realize, it's not intuitive. Getting into the media is not like you write a press release and you put it out, and then, Forbes will just pick it up because it's so great. And I learned from you guys, you really have to learn how this works. This is a field on its own, and there are rules to know and things to follow. And if you don't do that, they just can't publish you. It's impossible.
I agree with you. I think that it's also like, it's hard on our own to figure out, how do I crack the code? How do I get into the media? How do I know what they're looking for? But I also want people to know that once you learn these things, it's simple. It's not rocket science, but you do need a little bit of instruction and support along the way. So yeah, we love helping people get publicity. And I think that, at the end of the day, we are always our own best publicists, and there are always opportunities in front of us. They can be low-hanging fruit opportunities. Maybe our friend has a podcast, or they have a student group where they need a speaker. So I think it's important for us to have the skills to get other people so excited about our work and really see the synergy, so that they want to open up their platform and share our message, because in turn it's helping their audience. So I just want everyone to have the skills to be able to promote themselves in a way that feels good and really win-win for everyone involved.
And I think, yeah, exactly. Taking that imperfect action also creates that momentum. Even if you give a podcast interview that's not that relevant in the beginning, it's the first one, and then there's a second one, and then and eventually it just starts rolling. I started to get invitations that I didn't ask for, just because people started hearing about me. And I think that getting over that hump and learning these things is incredibly important. So when somebody feels like they're not ready for publicity, what would you tell them?
Yeah, I understand that fear where people feel like I need to be an internet superstar first, or like be at a certain level in my business. But chances are you know more about your work than the average person. If you are someone that is helping people, you're solving their problems, you're supporting them, whether they are paid clients or even pro bono clients or friends and family, you have information, stories, ideas that can change people's lives, right? And that's what the media is looking for. So it's about the work work that you are already doing, but just sharing it on a bigger stage. It's not that you should create all these new story ideas or invent something totally different from the media. We're already sharing our message. We're already helping people one by one. How can we do it with leverage and reach more people? And so related to that, I actually want to share something special that I've got with people, and I've got it right here. It's my publicity calendar. Because a lot of times people will say to me, well, Selena, or, or maybe they're like thinking right now, Ingrid, I want to get like publicity like you did, but I don't know how to get started. And so the next step would be to get your hands on this publicity calendar. And it is over 40 pages worth of publicity tips, story ideas, special hooks, and dates to get into the media. Because one of the secrets is that during certain times of the year, every single month, there are different kinds of story ideas and themes that the media is actually looking for. And if you understand what they're looking for, you can pitch in a way that's really timely and relevant and get your foot in the door. So we've outlined this for every single month of the year. This is going to give you like a huge competitive advantage. And you can get the calendar for free at impactingmillions.com/Ingrid calendar. So it's impactingmillions.com/Ingrid calendar to get this free calendar, to learn how you can get publicity, to get all these story ideas and tips to save you time. So I encourage people to check it out.
Thank you. This is, it's an incredible tool. I really hope people get this. What I learned from your calendar is that sometimes we just have to spin what we want to talk about to make it timely.
Yes.
So instead of just saying, I have this great idea with this client and they have all these, the great results, if we can give it a spin because it's Valentine's Day and we actually, plan for this hopefully in November and not on February 1st and put it out there, then people will look for that. And that's something that you put together in just a genius way so that we just know which stories may fit into what they're looking for and combine the two very professionally. So thank you for that gift. I do hope a lot of people pick it up. And thank you for your time. And thank you for what you've done for me and the people that have been reaching because of you. And I haven't even started yet. Talk to me at the end of next year. It'll be amazing. And I'm very grateful to you. So thank you, Selena.
You're so welcome. Wonderful talking to you. Take care, everyone. Looking forward to staying connected. Bye.
Bye.